What are we up to today? Well, I've been riding this Moustache Same E-Fat 4 for a little while. It's a very cool Bosch powered e-bike. Got a 625 watt hour battery. It's the older CX4 motor, so it's only 85 Newton meters, but you know, for fat biking, it is perfect. And I've ridden it down to about -20, and the battery doesn't really seem to have a problem, even that cold. Although I do wrap a little neoprene sleeve around the down tube. So what's the issue? Well, it's got 26s, which is fine. Most of the new stuff is rolling on 27.5s, but it also has some little bit older style geometry. Let me give you some stats here on it. So it's a medium with a fairly short 402 millimeter reach. Wheelbase is 1175, also kind of short, but it has a fairly long rear center at 483 mil. So it climbs pretty well, even with a seat tube angle of 72.5. Stack, however, is a really short 625 mil. It's a short bike. And the head tube angle is 67.5 degrees. Very, very steep, which for me, I find it's quite twitchy on the trail. The steering response is really, really fast, and it really doesn't want to go in a straight line. Makes me nervous. And that, in the dirt, is not a problem. But in the snow, when the trail is 12 to 18 inches wide, and you can't always see the edge, and the edge can be really slippery, you put the front tire off the edge of the trail, you're crashing. Well, we had a little crash, one of those nice bridges. I lost the front end, bike went in one side of the creek, I went in the other side of the creek, and I think I dislocated my shoulder. So, I thought, what if we could turn this bike into a mullet by putting a 27.5 on the front? Now, it does have a 100 mil Mastodon comp front fork, and we're fairly certain, we've tried another wheel on it, that it won't bottom, even with the 27.5. So we think it'll fit. So, what did I do? I found this puppy on Facebook Marketplace for 60 bucks, and this is a 27.5. Of course, with a new wheel means a new tire, and Fortnite just happened to have a sale. Anything. All right, so we've got Tureen, 27 by 4.5 cake eater, and it is studded. So we got a tire, we got a wheel. What we're gonna have to do though, that's a 180 mil disc here. So I'm gonna have to pop the disc off, and this thing has a 203 on it. I think they're 203s. So with the disc, if it fits and the hub fits or the axle fits, we should be good. Let's give it a shot. This could be really cool because it should raise the front end. So it should slacken the bike a little in theory, not be so steep.
Wow.
Give me a touch more ground clearance because it's pretty tight on the cranks. They do pedal strike once in a while. But that slacker head tube angle should hopefully slow the steering down, make the bike a little more stable and maybe a little more predictable, just to kind of hold its line, not be dodging for the ditch all the time. Because sometimes, depending on the conditions, winter fat biking can be like riding a skinny for 2 hours straight. It's stressful and it's really fun. Anyways, let's find out. Whoa. Okay, first thing we're gonna get rid of these silly reflectors. We're not riding on no street, don't need no reflectors. Now I've heard, I don't know for sure, but I've heard you can get away with putting a 26-inch tube on a 27.5 wheel. Okay, that is the difference. Oh, wait a minute. There's one issue, damn it. It's got a Presta valve hole. My tubes are all Schrader. I think I'm gonna stick with Schrader. I think we're gonna drill it out because I hate dealing with Presta tubes in the winter, they suck. Presta, we have a Schrader hole. The cake eater have a direction? Oh, maybe it does. I'm pretty sure these are directional. No tubes are a pain, but they're a lot less pain than the bloody goo and the tape. And again, for winter, man, I have run below 2 PSI without a problem. And the traction, oh my God. Well, that side's popped. Little toe peak tool, I love this little tool. This is a great little trail tool. It's got a chain breaker built in, and it's got a torque wrench that goes from 2 to 6 Newton meters. I don't know if you can see those little markings. But it also has a wicked little wrench and a bunch of torque bits. Is it big enough to get these off? That'll be the question. Are they nuts on the bottom? No. Holy shit, I'm gonna need a proper wrench. I don't want to put that much force on this little guy, so we're gonna switch out to something a little stronger. These are on there good. I don't know if they've ever been off. Could have a problem with one of them. Might be stripided. Might be drilling one of them out. Holy fuck. Holy shit. Like, on there, man. And one that's gonna be a bitch. Holy fuck. Nope. Two of them I gotta drill out probably. It's actually twisting my Bosch bit. Drill time. Let's see if we can do this without damaging the disc. I'm getting myself in the eyeball. That was stupid. Dun, da, da, da. Safety at last. Hard effing bolt, no drill press. How am I gonna get that fucker out of there? Probably everyone's gonna say, you're never getting that out of that hub. Hence the why it was 60 bucks. Can I pound a bigger one in there? This thing's turn. Oh! Oh, no way. No fucking way. Okay. Self-taught. Drill a slightly bigger hole, pound in the next size up. God, that was fluky. Oh my God, I can't believe it came out. Don't ask me how deep to drill, because I really don't know. Just before the head mushrooms and falls right off, I suppose. I'm screwing myself here. Nope. Oh, fingers crossed. This works. It worked once, will it work twice? Nope. Come on, you little fucker. Oh, no freaking way, man. Oh my God. Ta-da! There is something to be said about center locks for sure. I'm not going to bother with new thread lock, I don't think. It's 5, 5.5. There we go. Everything's at 5.5. Whew. Cannot believe that that came off. Disc is on. Wheel is on. Not sure how set the bead is yet, but we'll find out when we spin it. Now we're just going to put it on the bike. 27.5. Oh, if this doesn't fit, I'll be pissed. And that's supposed to be 6 Newton meters. There we go. She's a mullet now. Let's see if it spins, but there's the clearance on the fork brace. And then the rest of the idea is, will it clear here under full compression? And my understanding is it will clear, and worst case, we need to swap some spacers out inside, anti-bottoming spacers, to prevent it from going too far. In this fork, we can probably raise to 120 mil from 100 by just taking it apart and changing the spacers. Let's see if it spins. Oh my God. All right. We have mulleted the Moustache. I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna put it beside the truck and just see how it looks as a mullet. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I gotta go for a ride. I'm not sure you can really see it there, but it's definitely got a bigger front end. Check this out. All right, let's go for a little ride. Wonder if I don't know if it's a wide enough angle. No helmet, but no battery, just a bike. Some first impressions. Won't hit the car. Should be some air in the back seat, air in the back tire. It's so low. Okay, so like immediately the front end steers straighter for sure. And the stack height is really noticeable. Hang on. Seat up, there we go. Yeah, the stack height is really noticeable. This bike, I had a lot of pressure on my hands. Sometimes it'd make my hands go to sleep. In fact, I gotta put the 1-up carbon bars on it. But maybe with this higher stack height, the front wheel's bigger, I won't have to do it. But man, I'm telling you, it works really good. At least on the sidewalk. I'm gonna find out on the trails tomorrow. Kind of surprised how easy this project was. Other than almost getting hosed by some rotor bolts. 2 of them. Oh, got lucky there. But man, the bike just looks cooler now too. I don't know why they didn't do this from the factory. Probably parts and tooling or cost or something, but if this rides as good as I think it's gonna ride, then it's like, it's gonna be the kind of the future maybe of this bike. Oh, I can't wait to go riding now. It's so cool. Look at that. Wow. So immediately, it definitely feels more stable. Holy smokes. Wow. It's like a different bike. Holy crap. It's totally like a different bike. It just tracks more consistently. And you can see here how deep the trail is. This is when you get pedal strikes, when you're next to the side. If you get the pedal too close to the side of the trail, but it's just so much more predictable. Ooh, that was the limit of the tire right there. You gotta get some studs maybe for the outside of these trains. Woo! My God, it's so much better. It's 25% better. It's more predictable, like so much more, and so much more stable. Like before, I'd be all over the damn trail. It's a lot more fun to ride, and the stack height is so much better on my hands now. I'm not fighting the wrist pain. Wow, what a freaking great mod. Like you can I just feel more confident. That's the biggest thing. So much more confident. It doesn't want to wander. Holy smokes. Wow, Moustache. You guys should try this in testing, man. More confident, more playful. What a difference.
That is amazing.
Well, I gotta say, that was epic. This thing, you know, I thought it might be 5% better, but it's like 40% better. I don't understand exactly why, but it's much more predictable. It's much more stable. It tracks in a much straighter line, and yet it's still flickable. It's still maneuverable, probably because of the short wheelbase, but it's definitely more precise. Like I can now put the front wheel within maybe 5 millimeters of where I want all the time. So riding that outside line or picking lines in the corners, and I just couldn't do that before. It was a bit too twitchy. So anyways, I think this is a success. I think it only really works maybe because of the Moustache geometry, the fact that it's got such a steep head tube angle and a low stack, so it's benefiting from all these having the bigger front wheel. And I don't think you do this to something that was already a 27.5. I don't think I put a smaller rear wheel in the back and then end up lowering the bottom bracket height, because you know the Giants are very stable as they are, but this bike particularly seems to really benefit. I would say stability's up, predictability's way up 20-30%. It's just a lot more fun to ride. And there you have it. Is that the world's first mullet fat bike? It might be the world's first fat E mullet. I don't know. You tell me if you've seen one. I have never seen one before.